double some coffee. Keith Rowley, why you don't hush your mouth, sit down and go in your bed? It's not you who quit on your team. It's not you who quit after making a covenant with the people of Trinidad and Tobago to be Prime Minister, and you quit and try to place, select, handpick and voice Stuart Smallpin Young on your PNM supporters and thereby to the country, and the country rejected you and Smallpin. Rowley, you come to say you sign a document. Even in retirement, you just lie. You didn't sign nothing, you didn't know about it, they didn't discuss it with you. You read about some document that past CARICOM leaders, prime ministers and so on signed, and you storm the document. You jump in on the document on Facebook and say, today I sign. You didn't sign, first and foremost. But that is en passant. Rowley, what are you talking about? The time-held tradition of maintaining the Caribbean as a zone of peace? Rowley, when you were Prime Minister and your partner Maduro, who you conga line with, who you sent Smallpin up and down 13 times in 12 months to go and lick Delcy Bamsi and Maduro Bamsi with a secret NDA, take we money, put our entire country and our visa position and our links with the USA and our ability to go and enjoy the USA, watch sporting events, go on holiday, invest, our ability to trade with the USA. You put all that at risk to secretly do business during sanction time with Maduro regime, an illegitimate regime. And you, Rowley, now coming to say that we must maintain the Caribbean as a zone of peace? Where was your statement when your boy Maduro went out and threatened Guyana about the Essequibo, made statements that he did not respect the international court when the international court had ruled in favor of Guyana, and then there was another ruling coming out and Maduro was openly saying that he don't care what the international court says. He was sending military vessels into the Essequibo, riling up his supporters, his sycophants like your PNM supporters against Guyana. Where was your solidarity with Guyana? Where was your design and desire for the zone of peace and protection of your CARICOM brothers and sisters? Rowley, you're a complete and total fraud. And the point is that nobody cares what you have to say. Rowley, right now the murder rate has gone down some 40 to 42%. Even in October, that murders took a little spike. It's still less than the 55 and 60 murders under your watch, under Smallpin watch, under Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines watch, because of the drug cartels being unable to pass through the Gulf of Paria heading anywhere, because of the US intervention, because of the war against the cartels. Our young brothers and sisters, our children have been dying in their hundreds. And you, Rowley, pretend that the PNM is the party of the young black African and the black African and all of this, when in the main it's young black Africans killing each other with guns not made here, but guns left here by cartels, by narco terrorist traffickers, human traffickers, guns and bullets left here for our children to kill each other. But you didn't care because they didn't kill in, no shooting on the golf course, no shooting in cocktail parties, no shooting in Goodwood Park. You didn't care. Now you come in to tell people that you signed a document that nobody wanted you to sign or invited you to sign, to talk about a zone of peace. Our country, Trinidad and Tobago, under your stewardship for 9.5 years, was a zone of war, was a zone of murder, was a zone of blood flowing in the streets, was a zone of children getting killed while playing basketball or football, was a zone of former national footballers dying, was a zone of total war, bloodshed. People couldn't sit down and relax and have a beverage. Murders left, right and center. our existence under you was unsafe. We were unsafe even in our houses. People jumping over our walls and dealing with the citizenry in a serious manner. Guns wielding, beating old people, murdering old people, strangling old people in their house, in the sanctity of their home. You oversaw a zone of war in Trinidad and Tobago, and you have the audacity to open your mouth. Rowley, sit down, shut up, and go in your bed. I wish I could say it how it's supposed to be said by like them two ladies who just give you a little education. Rowley, you are a hypocrite. Kamala Persad-Bissessar stands with the U.S. to stamp out narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, the cartels, and their influence in anywhere they pass, where they pass with bloodshed, guns, ammunition, bullets, and put them in the hands of the most vulnerable for them to kill out each other and kill all of us. We became collateral damage under you. Rowley, you nefarious, disgusting, nasty, selfish narcissist. So hush your mouth, sit down and go in your bed. Nobody cares. You're a quitter. You're punk. You have no testicular fortitude. You ran and left your team to get a cocktail. There is nothing worse than that. For a captain to leave a sinking ship and run. You are a scumbucket, Rowley. Even your PNM people despise you. You left them for the police and for all the investigators to see the corruption that you were hiding all the time as you interfered with every independent institution, as you chose and handpicked your own commissioner of police so investigations will be paused even in the most simple of cases for your parliamentarians and your Balize House people to be charged. Talking about Balize House, Rowley, how come it stopped? How come your Balize House that you said when you became leader of the PNM, you were 4 million in the red, and you were owing others like CNMG and advertisement and so on. And while you were prime minister, you moved from minus 4 million to positive 140 million to build a Balize House, a Babylon Tower. How come the work stopped now that you're out of government, Rowley? Explain to the people you want to talk. Talk about that, where the money came from. Why were there so many different contractors dropping steel, dropping iron, dropping bricks, dropping material? Why, Rowley? How come the work on your Balize House stopped? Where did that money come from? The raffles are done. The barbecues and the curricues can't raise funds anymore. Why is Balize House done? Where did that money come from? Was that from your financiers? Some of your financiers that the PNM is obviously trying to protect, because anybody would understand that Trinidad and Tobago, not Jamaica, quite up north, in the safety and security and the blanket of the US anyway, not those countries, Bahamas, not those up higher up north, we down here south, close to South America, 7 miles from Venezuela, the Gulf of Paria, has been a transshipment point for drugs, fentanyl, anything coming through. And with it comes drugs, comes guns, murder, ammunition, bullets. So we are in an original position as our people die. So nobody else, no other so-called leader, no Ralph Gonzalez could talk about what is going on here in Trinidad and Tobago. Ralph Gonzalez, what is your affinity to the PNM? Why you love the PNM so? Ralph Gonzalez, why you love Rowley so? What it did for your affection, Ralph Gonzalez? I go answer that question just now, all your whole stream. Trinidad and Tobago has been awash with blood. 1.4 million people, million, with 624 murders in a calendar year in 12 months. And you want talking about a zone of peace? We don't even have a line of peace. We don't even have a moment of peace. We live under the PNM in eternal fear. Bullies, guns, gangs. And you talking, Rowley, about zone of peace? It is becoming peaceful in Trinidad and Tobago. The crime rate is going down. The murder rate is going down. The amount of ammunition on our Twin Island Republic is going down. The UNC is fixing it. And we will continue to fix it. Because when a citizen dies, young or old, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar feels it in her heart. She's not a sociopath like you, Rowley, who doesn't even care about his own children. Label some as outside. Take picture with those that are inside and leave the others to fend for themselves. If a man cannot even mind what comes from his testicles, how the hell could he care about others who had nothing to do with his testicles? You are a scumbucket. You are an embarrassment to Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago rules the day that they didn't listen to Patrick Mervyn, Augustus Manning about you and your low character. You're a miscreant. You're an example of what all young men in Trinidad and Tobago should never be. You at 70-something, still horning without prophylactic and leaving children all over the place and using state resources to keep them, to give them, to put them there, to pretend like you love them. Rowley, you're a scumbucket in all levels. Nobody cares. You sign a document. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago because you quit. You gave up your job. You punk. You put another punk, a Zami man, a dunce, a man who only studied in double palm, the small pin, that women talk all across Trinidad and Tobago about that scientific discovery of that small pin. And you put that arrogant bully who beat Imran Khan every day for 5 years and bullied him, tortured him until he could do nothing else but create war. There was no zone of peace in CIC under small pin. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar puts Trinidad and Tobago first. The people of Trinidad and Tobago first. Just like she ought to protect our young people first, to try and stem the blood flow and the murder, to protect the citizens in their houses. You, on the other hand, and the PNM seem to be defending cartels, drug traffickers, narco-terrorists, and human traffickers. There's no picture of Kamala Prasad-Bissessar sitting down next to the owner of a whole house. And Rowley, ain't you, was sitting down in a house comfortably holding the hands with the owner of a whole house. Now we understand why the PNM is trying to protect narco-terrorists, cartels, and human traffickers. You and Al-Rawi was in the house comfortably. One Prime Minister and one Attorney General hugging up, eating, liming, sitting, drinking with the owner of a whole house. You have no moral authority to speak to Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. She's protecting us. She's protecting our children. She's protecting our people, our young, our old, of all races, ethnicities, religions. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar is the Prime Minister because the people chose her over you, you miscreant, low, imbecilic, tyrannical, oppressive idiot. Nobody cares about you, Rowley. Shut up, sit down, and go in your bed. Because I hear you don't even have the red couch now because Anel busted so much on doubles and coffee. You changed the red house, the red couch, the red everything. I feel you even give away the parrot. Shut up, Rowley. And to the PNM, how bad is the house stop billing now? How did it go up? Where did you get all that money? Was it from your financiers? Are any of your financiers involved in the drug trade? Are they narco-terrorists? Are they human traffickers? Go and check Rowley track record and who he friends is. Show me your friends and I'll show you who you are, Rowley. Go and take more picture with whole house owners. To the rest of Trinidad and Tobago, stand with Kamala Prasad-Bissessar and the UNC. Trinidad and Tobago will be a zone of peace. The crime situation will be arrested and you could enjoy our sweet country safely and your children don't have to flee. Fireburn Rowley, fireburn the PNM, fireburn cartels, fireburn narco-terrorists, fireburn human traffickers, fireburn whole house owners. Bless.